So lots of agents, that's kind of the ongoing theme. And one of the challenges, you don't just want only Copilot to be the place or the way you think about bringing order to it. We're going to have to create some structure around these agents too. And to do that, we go and draw from past experience. How do we organize teams of people working together? You know, you have groups, you have permissions, you have working spaces. We're going to do the same type of thing with agents appearing right alongside all of our organizations. This combo of agents and people working together, this is going to be what the modern team looks like. And what that means is we're going to have to work through a new way of getting our jobs done. Agents are emerging at massive scale. The applications that we use every day, the GUIs, the terminals, everything are going to have to change. And the way we collaborate is going to evolve. All these things require new tools, new thinking, new ways of getting our job done. And the first big component of that is going to be Copilot Studio, an incredibly easy way to go create agents. Or Power Apps, a way to rapidly build out these new types of intelligent application experiences. And Teams is growing and evolving to support these teams of people and agents working together. So wherever people are working, you will have access to all this great agent capability that we build and that you build. And if I look at Copilot Studio, we really view it as the easiest way to go create those agents. It's used by over 230,000 organizations, and it wraps up the models, the connectors, the orchestrators, the observability, diagnostics, and more, so you can have a one-stop shop and then spend more time building as opposed to managing the agents that you create. This is best seen in a demo, so I am super excited to welcome Ryan to the stage to show it all in action.
Thank you, Charles. CSX is one of the largest transportation providers in the country. Their train division alone operates about 20,000 miles of track. And what you're seeing behind me on the square screens is a dramatization of the type of monitoring a team like that needs to make sure such a complex system stays running smooth like butter. Because things happen, you know, and you want to be able to monitor just in case any incident might occur. There's one now, in fact. About 24 miles outside of Bardstown, Kentucky, a freight train has had to come to a preemptive stop because of signal failure. Now, everybody's okay, but this thing is carrying Class 3 hazardous materials. It's now blocking a main line. And by the way, it's 3 a.m. in February, and it's snowing. We got work to do, right? We've got trains to reroute, crews to dispatch, regulators to notify. That is a lot on the shoulders of the ops team working the night shift at CSX. And it's a perfect opportunity for agents to jump in and help out. And we're going to build them in Copilot Studio. Let's take a look. Now, for those of you who have not come face to face with an agent in Copilot Studio before, this is what it looks like. You know, it starts at plain-spoken, natural language instructions about what we need this agent to do and how to react, and a grounding in the knowledge from our organization. You know, here are our policies. Here's what happens when an incident occurs. But folks, these agents in Copilot Studio now are not just waiting for somebody to ask them a question and answer it on a document. This isn't just a chatbot. Agents also have tools, skills to do work inside of the organization. And you know, because Copilot Studio is part of Power Platform, we have more than 1,500 connectors out of the box, everything from Acumatica to Zendesk. If it's got an API, you can work with it with an agent. But as Charles mentioned, we're also now supporting new open standards like Model Context Protocol, to be able to go hook up to MCP servers. And here's one that I've created inside of CSX to work with some of our compliance documents. I can authenticate it to it and pull through all of those skills and capabilities, keep them automatically up to date. But I also want to give this agent skills and tools of its own, right? And one of those important ways to do it is with a prompt. So I can create very custom prompts. I'm going to paste in a pretty specific set of instructions for how I want this agent to react when a new incident occurs. And I'm going to select now from any model at my disposal. In fact, I've got a version of the DeepSeek reasoning model that I've fine-tuned and post-trained in Azure AI Foundry. And now, like any AI model, in Foundry, I can bring it here into Copilot Studio and see how it's going to perform in my agent. And that means I can have my most advanced AI developers and data scientists do that foundational work and then consume it up here in Copilot Studio for hundreds or thousands of agents. And so you see, DeepSeek took a minute to reason over that and brought back a pretty verbose response and did exactly what I asked it to do in the prompt. And I can use this really high productivity test harness to iterate and get it to do exactly what I need. Now, the thing is, not everything in our modern organizations yet has an MCP server or even a REST API. And that's where another really important tool for agents is the ability to just use computers directly. And we're really excited to have computer use now be part of Copilot Studio. And I've set up a computer use capability here. I've authenticated it already to a virtual machine that's running some software inside of CSX, and I've provided it some very plain spoken instructions about how to use that computer. Go to this website, open a certain screen, and do some work. And what's cool is that I can just watch right inside of this test harness my agent fire up and get those things ready for me. It's going to connect with the virtual machine, it's going to initialize a session, and then pretty soon it's going to just start using software. I mean, this is night and day different from things like RPA of the past, where I would have had to, script and granularly record every single click and hope that nothing changed. Now the agent can use a computer just like a person can. But look, those are all very cool tools for agents. But do you want to know what the most powerful tool for an agent is? It's another agent, right? And now Copilot Studio supports multi-agent orchestration. And so I can come in here and add agents, not even just other Copilot Studio agents, but agents from Fabric, agents from Foundry, agents using the Microsoft 365 SDK, and I can build a team of agents to work together. So what do you think? Should we send this team to work? Should we see how they react to that incident we just received? I'm going to put in just a little bit of information here about the incident. Let's try that again. I clicked the wrong button. Put in a little bit of information here about the incident, and we're going to see these agents get to work in real time. Let's see how they do. Sure enough, we're already filing a report, and then the inspection agent is going to pick it up and go look for information about that locomotive. The crew management agent is going to wake somebody up in the middle of the night and get a crew dispatched, and the route availability agent is already trying to figure out how to reroute trains. Now that is a pretty fast response. What do you think, Charles? I think we're going to get this thing back on track in no time.